Very good morning to one and all. Great to have you with us here on this beautiful Saturday morning, March the 28th, 2026. And welcome to the Madelon Bourdieu Memorial Final. Great to have you watching if you are watching on CTV Sports. Let me get on straight away with the introduction of the two teams. We've got two very, very strong six-goal teams making it through to the final. We're going to start from left to right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for Rinehart Polo at number 1, Emmy Wolf. There she is. Good morning, Emmy. And then the second lady in that team, please welcome at number 2, April Welker. Coming in, you might want to remember she's got that white helmet. At number 3, the 4-goaler, Agustin Ariano. And from South Africa, Mr. Whistle Ace coming in at number 4, playing off 3 goals. That is your team, Madelon, beg your pardon, Rinehart Polo, the first finalist of the Madelon Bourdieu. Over now to the blue shirts, please welcome Tanakanda at number 1, the very talented young man by the name of Alfonso Nero. Good morning to you. And then from Pakistan, a pleasure to have him with us, Dr. Tanveer Khan, coming in at number 2, playing off 0 goals. And then we've got Spinacci and Spinacci starting off with the 2-goaler, Francisco Spinacci, coming in there with the number 3 on his shirt. And, of course, Pablo Spinacci, the 4-goaler, playing the number 4 position. Your mounted official this morning is Esteban Ferrari. And just to give you a little quick recap of how these two teams fared throughout this Madelon Bourdieu Memorial. Rinehart, remember they're in the white shirts, they beat Mangrove by 3-2 in the opening match and then took care of business when they beat El Lirio 5.5-4. Tanakanda also with a 2-0, of course. They beat Mango 7-1.5 and then El Lirio by 5-3. So we have two very, very strong teams here, both coming into this final with a clean sheet, and I'm delighted to have to my right the one and only Mr. Dale Schwitz. Good morning, Dale.
Good morning, Ian. Nice to see you. Good morning, everyone here on CTV Sports. Finals day here on CTV Sports. So you get 2 special finals, and we have been waiting for this matchup, Ian. These two teams, Rinehart Polo and Tanakanda. It's going to be a super game. So hold on tight, everybody. Enjoy. And welcome to CTV Sports, Jan. We got the first ball in play, and away we go.
Yeah, and it looked for a moment there that Whistle might just run away with that one, but very well played here in defense by Agustin Ariano. And Rinehart have it. Once again, the man with the number 4, Whistle Ace, the man from South Africa. Had a little chat with him before the game. South Africa, of course, another polo nation, and a beautiful polo nation at that. Plettenberg Bay, of course, very well known for those of you who've actually been. Here we go, we're on the boards, and it is still the man from South Africa, Whistle, to get the ball away from the boards. Just sending his troops up a little bit further, wants to get past that first player, Alfonso Nero. There's the pass across the field, intercepted, nice little touch by Fran Spinacci, and look at this, on the turn, April Welker looking for a little gap, gives it back there to Emmy Wolf. Both of these ladies putting a lot of pressure on, and that ball will go over the back line. And if I'm not mistaken, he came off a defender, but did that ball cross before? Because now it did cross before. Otherwise, it would have been an automatic corner. So, Tanakanda, remember, they're in blue. They will have their first knock-in. This field running from north to south. Ball being knocked in now from the north end. And away we go. Plays over to the far side. Fran Spinacci. Little backhander once again. Now, this could be a chance here for Agustin Ariano. Perfect pass. A nice little pick up, and then the finishing touch. And just wide. Dale, second shot on goal, just wide.
No, good run. And this is what you can see a lot of is Ariano and Ace. They'll pull the team for the Rinehart Polo, but great defense by the Tanakanda team. Just right at the last second there to push that ball just wide to the right. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of strong offense today, but you know what wins championships, and I think that's going to be a big, big deal today. So on the knock-ins, going to be picked up here by Fran.
Very nice long ball. Now let's see if Pablo can pick it up. What he tried to. He had to play it on the near side. Look at that coming out of nowhere is Alfonso Nero. Trying to control it on the near side. Dr. Tanveer Khan coming from the second row. Still Khan goes for the under the neck. A little bit unlucky. Ariana trying to keep the ball in play. That did look like a very, very nice little formatted play. And that ball coming off a defender. We're going to have our first safety of the match. Now, remember, a safety is when the ball goes over the back line of the defending team. Equivalent of a corner in soccer. And again, on the 60-yard mark, but of course, slightly adjacent to that center mark, because where that ball crossed the line, that's from where that 60 yards will be measured. So an opportunity now for Fran Spinacci to open up the scoring. Remember, half a goal being given to Rinehart Polo as they total 5.5 on handicap. Here we go then. Spinacci trying to just steer that ball into play there. Alfonso near a little bit unlucky. Ball went wide, so scores remain the same. That half a goal, you can't see it on your screens, but of course it is there. And that'll take us into our first courtesy change.
You got it, Yan. We will be using the courtesy change today. So halfway through each chucker. You get the opportunity here. And they got to stop. 3:19 on the clock to be precise. And let's break this down for you today with these two teams. Rinehart Polo, Emmy Wolf, and April Walker. They're going to play the number 1 and 2. They're -1 and 0.5. April on a 0.5, Emmy on a -1, but they play very, very strong. They're going to need to pull the team, and they're going to play against Fran Spinacci and Pablo Spinacci on the other side. So we're going to see how those matchups go. Then you got Alfonso Nero and Dr. Tanvir Khan. They're playing the number 1 and 2 for the Tanakanda team, and they are both rated zeros, A-rated, and they're going to have the same kind of day going up against Augustine Ariano and Whistle Ace. These two teams line out exactly the same. They have their highest rated players at the 3 and 4 position, with Augustine at 4 and Whistle at 3, Fran at 2, Pablo at 4. So that is going to be where they drive the team from. But the big difference today for me, Yan, is to see how Emmy and April, how they do well on their goal shooting and going back on defense, and also how Alfonso and Dr. Tanvir Khan, how they go to goal and how they play defense. The big guns are going to do their jobs today, but I'm really looking forward to see how these players play. And one thing we have noticed in this tournament is that they've gotten better and better and better every game. So if you're going to peak, this is the perfect time. Looks like we got everybody back on the field here after our first courtesy change of the day, and we'll go the knock-in.
Thank you, Dale. And yes, excuse me, just a touch, pick up on Tanvir Khan in that last match when they took on El Lirio. He had a cracking game, scoring a goal in the first, the second, and the third chukker. So 3 goals to the account there of Dr. Tanvir Khan, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to want to miss any opportunity. We've seen how dangerous he could be in front of goal. And, of course, we wish both of these teams the very best of luck. Back now to the young man here in blue coming out underneath the commentator's booth. That is Francisco Spinacci. Gets a little bit of a bump there from Emmy Wolf. And you were talking about how strong these two ladies are. Left behind now for Ariano. Does the old switcheroo. Finds himself in a bit of a pickle between 2 blue shirts. No relevant speed, so good non-call there. Back to Fran Spinacci. Has he beaten Ariano this time? Looks like he might. Now watch as Alfonso Nero makes his way up towards that danger zone. He's got a whistle there on his hip. But looks like he's going to try and run this one himself. What a nice little run. The finishing touch. Oh, good polo here. Very good polo. A little turn. Once again, Alfonso trying to do something with it. Slightly on this back foot. Spinacci just getting the putter out. Whistle. All hands on deck. I beg your pardon. Ariano doing a stellar job there and getting that ball out of the danger zone. But they haven't gotten possession just yet, because look at this hard ride off here. Down the boards they come. Nice little push there from Emmy Wolf. Gets the ball over the halfway line, opening up things very nicely now. Spinacci gets a piece of it, sends it out towards the boards. Now, who has the lesser angle as they collide? Whistle and Alfonso. Alfonso leaving it for Whistle. A little deflection coming off that pass. And look at this in front of goal. What a nice little stretch. Can he get the... He doesn't have to. What a cracking goal here, dealt by Agustin Ariano.
That might go down as one of the best goals of the tournament. Wow, what a goal. But let's go all the way back into the defense, because we were talking about that. It started with Emmy Wolf down in front, makes a great play on Fran. Then they get Augustine cleans it up, and they get the offensive attack going, and everybody lines out perfectly for a true coast-to-coast run. That is what is going to need to be done today. And right there, Rinehart Polo doing it at a high level as they click down here with 42 seconds on the clock.
And as you can see, ball's back in play. Spinacci, well, I'm pretty sure that they did not expect to have or to be facing off such a strong Rinehart Polo. A little bit of a shouting match going on there. You might have heard in the background the horn. Now then, can Tanakanda pick up a cheeky little equalizer? Looks like we might have had a little bit of shading there, Dale, just coming slightly in front. How did you see that?
Yeah, good call, Jan. For this angle, I think you got that right. It looked like Whistle was riding in her for the second play. But Afonso Nero, again, this is a difference today to see how these lower-rated players play. And right now, after this first chukker, they are getting it done for both teams. And we're going to send them off here to get some fresh ponies for our second chukker. It looks like they did bring that ball in. And we will start the second chukker with an open goal penalty for the Tanakanda team. So we'll get everybody on a fresh group of horses, and we'll be back. The Madelon Bourdieu Memorial, and we'll be right back on CTV Sports.
Two. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, a very good morning to you. We are, of course, the Grand Champions Polo Club. And before I get down to, well, I've got a second or two, I suppose. Players are just all returned back after that initial chukker play. We had a goal by Agustin Ariana. What a cracking goal it was. But we ended that first chukker, and we're going to start with an open goal penalty, 2 in favour of the team in blue, Tanakanda. And that will be Signor Francisco Spinacci to not only make a very nice goal, but also get the equaliser. So, very nicely done at the start of chukker number 2, Tanakanda. And a quick reminder of who's out there in this Madelon Bourdieu Memorial final. Tanakanda, as I said, in blue, Alfonso Nero with the number 1 position. Dr. Tanvir Khan at number 2, both 1 and 2s playing off 0 goals. And then the man who just scored that goal, Francisco Spinacci, at number 3 of 2 goals. And Pablo Spinacci, of course, his dad, playing off 4 goals, matching the number on his shirt. Ball's back in play. Rinehart Polo, they're in the red and white, or the white and red, I should say. Emmy Wolf at number 1, playing off -1. April Welker playing off -0.5 a goal at number 2. And then Agustin Ariana, the 4-goaler, at 3, and the South African whistle ace playing the number 4 position, coming in off 3 goals. And that's a very nice pass by the South African to Ariana. And let's see if he's got the horsepower. Ariana with a bump and a ride off there against Alfonso Nero. He's clearly done enough to leave that ball behind. Let's see if she can keep it within the boundaries of the field. Emmy Wolf trying very hard to keep that momentum going. But again, great defense here by Tanakanda as they clear the ball, and it'll be Alfonso Nero. Checks first. Little deflection, and I'm pretty sure this will go against Tanakanda. Hitting the player. Now, of course, we've had that rule. And as you can see, Esteban Ferrari, he's going to bring that ball over to the halfway line.
So penalty 5B, and we are going to get a blocking. Now, like Yan was saying, this is one of those judgmental calls that has come into play, Yan, over the last, I think, 5 years. Of course, animal rights, taking care of the four-legged athlete as much as a two-legged athlete, but the ball getting hit in to the horses. Now, the fine line is it blocking? Is the player blocking and putting himself there, maybe putting his horse at risk? And they have to judge that based on a player hitting it in there. But I love this judgment here. The players do know they will lean towards the horses, so they want to try to keep that clean. What a shot here is they're going to open it up, and you're going to get a shot on goal. Dr. Samir Khan right in front, and Nero goes for the near side neck shot just off the left, but a positive play here, Yan, from center field, but we'll go to the knock-in, and Rinehart Polo will take over with 4:40 on the clock.
Well, Dale, if this final is anything to go by, if we compare it to last year's final where we had Cordova Polo team up against the Polo School, it ended very, very narrow, 6-5.5. Cordova Polo winning that final. MVP went to Pedro Gutierrez. And I'm pretty sure it's going to go to the wire in this one as well. Here we go then. April Welker. Nice little approach. Opens the shoulders. Nice little follow through. Drags it a little bit out to the left. And she was kind of hoping, I suppose, that Agustin Ariana would have been there. But Spinacci getting a lot done. A lot of touches already so far. Little near side backhand there from Ariana. And we have another whistle on the play. I reckon that must have been the second man coming round on that bend.
Yeah, you got them all bunched up there as they run the turn. And it looked like a group of NASCARs coming out of there. They came out of the turn. Once again, though, here we go. We're talking about the number one and number two on each team. And April Welker now doing her part, carrying the ball nicely down the field. Little bad luck once she got inside the 60. Ariano in a good spot and putting the pressure on the Tanakanda team. And this is what happens. They get it down in there. Tanakanda's got to try to make a play to clean it out. We get a shading call, right-of-way violation, as they've made the turn, as Jan pointed out. And they're going to bring that ball out. It was just outside. And even though it was inside, maybe inside 30, but so far out by the board to bring out to the 60, it'll be Ariano.
Nice.
Wow, what a shot right there. Augustine Ariano getting it done, Yan, from the field and the penalty line early. And these are going to be must-needed goals today in a final with such powerhouse teams. And Ariano just crushed that one. And that might push us to our courtesy change. And I believe, they're going to go ahead and take advantage of it now with 3:36 on the clock. Well, it's going to be one of those games. It's going to go back and forth. Little plays here, little plays there. I remember that first play of the game when the Rinehart Pole team saved that defense, made a great defensive play, Emmy Wolf, and then they had the ability to turn it around. And Augustine Ariano with that spectacular near side neck shot out of the air. But plays like that are going to come down to who are the champions today. And both teams look fired up here. You got to walk through the tents before the game. Did you get any information from the teams?
Well, first of all, I got a feeling of a lot of excitement. Both teams very happy and delighted to make it through to the final. And we've got a very nice turnout here on this Saturday morning. Let's have a look. It's coming up to 10 to 11. So a very, very good atmosphere, very good vibes being displayed from both of these teams. Of course, very much looking forward to playing this final. And I'm sure that after the second goal being scored here by Agustin Ariano, Pablo Spinacci, of course, the captain and the man with the most experience within that Tanakanda team, he might have to readjust a little bit the strategy because Emmy Wolf and April Walker getting a lot done out there. And Whistle Ace, of course, Secretary of Defense, making sure that that back door stays firmly shut. And it's going to come down, Dale, I think, to a lot of what has happened just now, which is winning that throw-in, getting possession of the ball, not making a mistake by then losing possession in front of goal. Yeah, an appeal there. Spinacci might have been on that a little bit at a lesser angle. Let's see what Esteban Ferrari saw, because he was coming down the line after that broken play. And be a tough one, but from up here it looked like Spinacci had the nearer angle, or the better angle.
He said a lesser angle and a tight one, very tight. But Esteban Ferrari, one of our strongest umpires for Argentina, comes in for the World Polo League, 26-goal polo, highest level polo in North America outside of Argentina. So it's great to see Esteban back and in a good position. But here you go. This is a positive knock-in. Any play that gets over center, and that's going to be Wolf to take it down in there. I notice the rotation. They're keeping Whistle deep, and they're sending Augustine forward. So we'll see how that develops as the game goes on.
Well, once again, they're getting dangerously close. It'll turn, it'll backhand. Now then, let's see what they can do here. He's got the time to stop and turn. He does so. First man there will be Pablo. Let's see what Whistle can do here. He's definitely within range. Here comes the shot. A little deflection. Spinacci tries to intercept. Alfonso Nero then finally gets a good piece of that ball, able to clear it. And look how they will turn defense into offense. Coming up towards that halfway line still, Alfonso Nero gets a little bit of a bump and a ride off there by Whistle. He gets possession of the ball, quickly turned, completely left to her own devices. April Welker, she wants that ball now, and he didn't really, well, maybe he did on purpose play that to Emmy, but Emmy immediately has Spinacci on her hip. Little cut shot and well played by Welker. And you can see there coming across the two players, there was a whistle, and rightly so.
Yeah, once again, though, they're calling it. They're using the ladies up in front, Emmy and April, on the rotation. And but you are going to get another penalty. So both teams getting a little loose on a few of the right-of-way violations. But I love the aggressiveness. You got to keep the pressure on in a game like this, especially with the strength of the number 4s on each team. Whistle Ace had 3 goals and Pablo Spinacci at 4. They'll put that ball for the spot for a penalty 5A. Now, they mix this up every so often. Sometimes it's Fran, sometimes it's Pablo. And it looks like it's going to be Fran going back to Pablo. And Tanakanda's going to get a positive possession here as they go over center field.
Yeah, nicely done. Dead ball. No one's going to get to it. First one will be Franz Spinacci. Nicely done. Coming full power here. Still Spinacci leaves it behind. Left from Alfonso. Clever little play. He knew he had Pablo Spinacci. Wait for the shot. Here it comes. It's deflected and it just goes out of bounds. But again, a very nice setup the way Tanakanda are playing here this morning.
I think both teams up to this point, have gone coast to coast on all their possessions, not picking up the butter and the toast, but getting the runs. And that just shows you why both these teams are in the final today. They work the ball down the field very strong, and they also use each other well. They'll mix it up, and this was going to be picked up here by Dr. Tanvir Khan, who's ball play, and it'll be Nero.
Well, a play like that, of course, is who gets onto that line first. Looks like he might have been a little bit aggressive there, Ariano, on that challenge against Nero. Again, contenance, of course, it is a gentleman's sport, or the sport of kings. And Esteban Ferrari there, just saying, guys, keep it real, but keep it with respect.
I always love that, the sport of kings. Back in the day, how it developed the game and how they used to say, well, the sport of kings, then it went from cowboys riding cow horses and then athletes riding race horses, and here we are today. Good call. This is uneven ride-off, but as Jan was saying, you're gonna see that today. You need to keep that energy up today on both of these teams. If you give any player on the field, and I'm very impressed by by, like I said, the lower rated players. Amy Wolf at a -1, April Welker at a 0.5. And then, of course, Afonso and Tanakanda at zeros. They play above their handicap. Here we go with the penalty 3. Oh, you're going to need these today. Fran kind of pulling that a little to the left. You can see he hit a little bit too hard. Now, he had his first one early, the penalty 2, but this will be the first kink in the armor, and good time management by the Rinehart Polo team as Whistle Ace right down there next to the clock. Could see that takes a nice turn. Now he'll be able to get the possession for the third chukker. So this is a perfect time to take a break, as we'll have a little bit of a halftime between the players, and we'll get Estevan on a fresh pony. I saw DJ Darren in the house. I think he'll be here this afternoon for you for the finals of the Toggle. And once again, thank you for joining Yan and I here at CTV Sports at the Grand Champion Toggle Club. Field number 1. We'll be back for the second half.
Welcome back, everybody. A warm welcome here, Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 1. And if you're watching on CTV Sports, great to have you with us on this Saturday morning. We are, of course, playing for the beautiful trophy, the Madelon Bourdieu Memorial, as the two teams make their way back out onto the field. Rinehart Polo, at the moment, in a very comfortable position. They are on paper the weaker team, but based on the scoreline, which is 2.5 to 1 at the moment, they are in the lead. So everything going to plan for Emmy Wolf at number 1, April Walker at number 2, and then Agustin Ariano, the man who scored those 2 goals, and Wiselace, the South African, playing at number 4. They're in the white and red. Tanakanda in the blue shirts. We've got Alfonso Nero, who's had a very busy day at the office, playing at number 1, Dr. Tanvir Khan at number 2, and then the 2 Spinaccis, Francisco, the 2-goaler at number 3, and Pablo at number 4. And it was only Fran Spinacci who picked up a score from the penalty line. Could have made it 2 in a row, but he put one slightly wide. So we continue now with a knock-in for Rinehart Polo. Long ball coming there from Agustin Ariano to try and find, and he does so. Wiselace, he needs to go around the outside of Pablo Spinacci if he can. Little near side backhander. Nice little touch there by Francisco, and he knew that was his line. And I was going to say a late whistle nonetheless, because looks like that Spinacci might have just been clipped there on that right of way.
Yeah, I like the late whistle here based on it being right in the center of the field and nobody back. So you want to play late whistle. If they get the breakaway, they got clean air. So you got to give the opportunity for the player getting fouled to try to get that clean air. But in this case, it did come off the horse, stop the play. And so they will bring it down to the 60. But that's where it's kind of tough here, where you want to play that advantage play, as you say, and it's talked about a lot off the field with professional umpires and polo players, about the advantage play because the field is so big. But you can understand why, because now you're going to put everybody in front of them, but you have to based on where the ball was fouled, the possession. So great job by the umpire. Penalty 4 coming. It's going to be Fran.
Well, a lot of power behind that shot, and also now from the line, second time he's put that one wide. That could have been, well, the second goal scored, but it just went wide. So I'm sure Rinehart Polo will be very happy to have dodged what would have been a bullet otherwise. They have possession, ball's in play, but see how deep Tanakanda are standing in that, or in front of that goal mouth. Nice little pass out to the far side, feeding Agustin Ariano. Little near side back from Nero. Didn't go very far. Now he's got to be clever and careful and quick here. He's got Pablo Spinacci behind him. He gets the shot off that he wanted. And Dr. Tanvir Khan will, I was going to say, have to do something before he scores it down the wrong end. That has happened. You get caught up in the moment. You have the ball, you see the goal, and you think, right, that's it. But look how clever he did this. And that's I was going to say, a nice little pick up on the halfway line by Alfonso. Back to the South African whistle. Disperses his attacking players. That's going to go and run into the path there of Ariano. Nice little pick up. Well played there by Emmy Wolf. Did everything right on the near side. Spinacci tries to shake off Agustin Ariano, and you've got Dr. Tanvir Khan completely on his own. He'll be out waiting for that pass. Here it comes, and these are the balls he likes. Dr. Tanvir Khan, look at that beautiful pony he's on. Opens it up nicely, takes a swing. Didn't get a clean touch on that. Tries to correct himself there with a little touch on the near side. Cleared and taken to the boards by Nero. We'll try and bring that ball around. He's done very well. Dr. Tanvir Khan still hoping that ball just might land on the green for him. Left behind for Spinacci. Not a clean hit. Now this could be a 2-man horse race. Ariano not able to get any further upfield. Once again, whistle Extended, clever play. Very well played here by Emmy Wolf, feeding the ball to April Welker. Bouncing ball, not easy to play. Ariano, and he will send April on her way. Will she go for the cut shot? She's got a little bit of work to do. Here it comes. Yes, well played. Well played. Just not enough power. And, a bit of a miss hit. And luckily for Tanakanda, Alfonso Nero was there. And again, a perfectly played pass to Dr. Tanvir Khan. On the halfway line, the South African whistle. Right, who's he going to look for? He's going to play it out to the left-hand side, where April again gets herself in a very, very good position. Spinacci couldn't get a piece of it. Nero puts it out towards the boards. Broken play. Now then, who's going to jump on it first? It will be Whistle. Avoids the hook coming in there from Spinacci. Here comes the under the neck, I'm pretty sure. Deflected. Still in that danger zone. And the near side forehand. No, I was going to say no mistake. No goal. Very unlucky there. I thought I saw that one going in. Unlucky there for Agustin Ariano.
I'll give you a break there, Jan. They didn't stop since they came out of the tent. They went into halftime, and that was like a dance, a ballet of just stellar defense by both teams. No fouls, just the penalty four at the beginning of the chukker. But you see that a lot in these very tight games, especially at halftime, low scoring, but based on the defense. And we were breaking it down at the beginning of the game on how strong these two the defending teams are with the higher rated players playing in the back of the game. They're going to go ahead and get on some fresh horses here, and they had that play right down in front. Opportunity for Rinehart Polo. Again, Emmy Wolf and April Welker. This little play that April makes coming across center when they're going to goal, where she hits it 3 yards on the near side to Augustine Ariano. Those are the little plays that are going to win this championship, and they keep the ball moving forward. Bad luck there for Whistle. They worked it back in on a broken play. I think that might be the first time we've seen a broken play not get scored on in this tournament, because usually when you get a broken play anywhere inside the 100-yard line, especially the 60-yard line, it's an automatic goal. But in this case, Tanakanda is going to go ahead and dodge a bullet. We're going to get everybody here on fresh legs and give the possession on the knock-in for Tanakanda. And it will be, looks like it'll be Spinacci.
And Spinacci trying to play it to Pablo Spinacci. First of all, has to deal with Emmy Wolf. Still Spinacci. Pablo now tucking in behind. Oh, he's lost it. And well played, well read there once again by Ariano. Spinacci leaves it for Fran, and well read in the right place at the right time. He appeals to the umpire. He says, no, play on, no speed to write off, no imminent danger. Ariano once again looking for Whistle, deflected, picked up now by Spinacci. Still Francisco Spinacci, wait for the shot, here it comes, a daisy cutter, what a way to score. Fran Spinacci picking up his very important second goal.
Yeah, the big guns coming through here, and that was fun watching them face off because we've been seeing the mix-up, but seeing Augustine and Whistle face off against Fran and Pablo. I love the non-calls by the mounted official in there. Players looking for every little edge they can get today. But Esteban not listening to any of that. He's keeping his mind on the money and the money on the mind. And a great job out there to let him play. And then a super job by Spinacci. And that's going to be great for his confidence. 30 seconds left here in this third chukker. Tied up 2-2. Opportunity for Ariano.
And Ariano would love to pick up another goal to keep the pressure on that Tanakanda. And I'm sure they have other ideas. Nice little play. Now, this could be a half a coast-to-coast run here by Alfonso Nero. Let's have a look at the clock. There is still plenty of time. Look at this. The direct approach to goal. Checks his pony. Here comes the shot. Now, buzzer beater. Dale, what do you make of that? What does the umpire say? We'll wait for him to raise his hand. But I believe that goal will count. So we'll wait for confirmation on that.
I agree with you. I'm going to go with the buzzer beater on this. We're going to check with our tournament committee. We got the side down here and, of course, our timekeeper. But I think Esteban was right on that. From up here, it definitely looked like he hit that ball before the second horn went. Now, remember the buzzer beater, like in basketball, the ball is hit and shot at the goal before the second horn sounds. And that ball travels through the goal without touching another player. That will be a goal. And they got it after the second bell. Okay, so there you go. It was close. They're going to say it was after. Like you said, remember the sound does travel also. And we have our tournament committee sitting right down there next to the horn. And that's a very important play to see how that works. So good job down there. Very, very close. But give it up to Nero. Well done, Afonso. Good job. And again, that would have been a huge, huge opportunity because, yeah, they actually turned it around. It looked like the Rinehart Polo was going to get one at the end of the chukker. And then the Tanakanda team turns offense into defense into offense. And they, Afonso, ran a good 200 yards in less than 8 seconds there to finish that off. But about half a second, maybe less than that, off, so the goal will not count. And when we return for our fourth and final chukker, tied up 2-2, it will be a knock-in for the Ryan. Oh, we got the half a goal again. They got the half a goal again. Thank you for reminding me about that. Remember, 2.5-2. So we'll make sure that Esteban does let the players know that. Maybe keep it. And I'm sure they're all talking about it. So remember that half a goal today is going to be a huge difference. So 2.5-2. Get ready for our fourth and final chukker.
Indeed, as the players make their way back out onto the field. Bit of a tongue twister there. And play will continue with a throw-in. Now, this is, of course, a bit of an advantage here, Dale, because they are right in front of that goal mouth. So if they can win the throw-in now, the team in the blue shirts, Tanakanda, then they already have a big step in the right direction to maybe, after all, pick up an early goal here in the fourth and final chukker. Remember, we will have the prize presentation coming up right after, so do please stay with us for that. And then don't forget this afternoon, where I just watch Mr. Pablo Spinacci do exactly as I predicted, winning the throw-in, and Spinacci picks up goal number 3, Dale, and that puts him in the lead for the first time by half a goal.
You called it. Now that's the other part of not getting the goal on that final shot at the end of the third chukker. They have the opportunity to win the bowl-in just right there at the 15-yard line, and it's always a lottery, the bowl-in, but they got it done, and Pablo getting his first goal of the day. So with they started at 6 minutes on the clock now on the bowl-in.
So let's see how Rinehart Polo will respond, but it looks like at the moment Tanakanda have turned things around very nicely. Dr. Tanvir Khan tries to pick it up on the near side. A little bit of a trip there, able to control his pony, well ridden by Agustin Ariano. And here they come, straight into your living room or into your kitchen, wherever you might be watching here on CTV Sport. Little cut shot, there it is. And then you ask, of course, where is that next player in the white shirt? Whilst Alonso, he won't mind. Nero, he'll work that ball as much as he possibly can. The little shot under the neck, the deflection. Spinacci gets a piece of it. Well played. Composure. Spinacci, and our ball minded just squeeze itself in on the near post. Very unlucky here, but they've got to tighten up a little bit now, because you can clearly tell that Tanakanda have got their rhythm going.
Yeah, they've gone to another level here in this fourth and final chukker. Remember, top 8 horses on the field, and to get that goal to go up by a half before the courtesy change. A big play for the Tanakanda team on the knock get picked up here, and it's going to be taken in by Welker. And look at this, Tanakanda on to give and go. It's going to be Nero.
Let's see if Alfonso can tee that ball up in such a way that he can get a clean shot off on goal. He's got a bit of traffic in the form of Emmy Wolf right in front of him. Well played, Rinehart defense. As Ariano will leave that one for whistle. He wants to try and get past Spinacci, and Spinacci will take the man, told now by the umpire to clear and allow a little bit of space. Nice long ball, picked up on the near side beautifully by Augustin, the man first, then the ball, as Spinacci has a lot to do here to try and get that ball in such a position that he can play the perfect backhand. Look at that, Spinacci to Spinacci. He's going to have to run this one. Alfonso jumps in. Well played, well read. Here we go, Nero. Wanted to go for the big shot. The cut once again, a deflection. Spinacci will jump on it one more time. Takes a shot and just puts it wide.
I thought Alfonso Nero was going to break loose. I love the black pony. We watched him do very well on this black horse, and it did come off the back of Whistle. He looks like he's okay, and that gave the opportunity for Pablo Spinacci to win his ride-off and get a shot on goal. Just off to the right side, though. So we're going to get them on our final horses of the day with 3:13 on the clock and an opportunity with a knock-in. To this point, both teams have been perfect on all their dead ball plays. They've had positive possessions on all the knock-ins, on their penalty fives. And this is where the defense wins championships. If Tanakanda can shut them down here, Yan, on this knock-in and turn and burn and maybe pick up another, that'll put them in the driver's seat. And on the other side, Rinehart Polo, if they can go ahead and work this one out coast to coast, they're going to have to use some different plays here and to get into the playbook on a set play and see if they can get it down past center and at least an opportunity to shoot a goal. Then they take control. So this is going to be a big minute of 3:13 left in the game. This first minute of this 3:13 could change, could end the game, actually. So we'll see what they come up with. Both teams coming out quickly today. Man, handling the courtesy change as they get out underneath the 45 seconds. I want to thank all the teams and the management. Great job. Even the teams that were further away from the ball. That ball was at the north end of field number 1 here at the Great Chevy Toll Club. Remember, 12-goal final today. Yeah, and Eric Frank will be live here at Stin.
Yeah, and let's not forget tomorrow. And let's not forget tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, very much looking forward to the much-anticipated Palm Beach Open final. Remember, the World Polo League in its 8th year this year. So, a very, very exciting weekend ahead. And not to forget the Buzz Welker Memorial, which will be taking place on Monday, the part of the PTF, the Polo Training Foundation. But now let's go back down to the action here on field number 1, the final of the Madelon Bourdieu Memorial. Ariano tried to take that one a little bit further, and we have a whistle.
Ooh. Yeah, you get the late whistle here, but this is very, very consistent with the second chukker. If you remember, we were talking about it. I broke it down for you at the center of the field on the far side of the center line. Ariano, actually, it was the same two players, Ariano and Spinacci. They had a play where it did come off a horse. Ariano was trying to get the breakaway. In this case, the ball was actually 20 yards downfield, and Augustine would have had a true breakaway, and not just a true breakaway by himself, but with Emmy Wolf going forward. So Esteban Ferrari lets that play try to play out to see if Ariano could get around. They did not have any success, so they'll drop that ball at the open goal. I love this ball placement and movement. It's a huge play, but well called. Here comes Augustine. with the 40-yarder. And as we said, when they came out after that Kersey change, if they could go coast to coast, here we go. So with 2:25 or less after they get into the middle for the bowling at about 2 minutes when they get down there again, wow, this could be a great finish.
Well, as I did say, they are very similar to last year's final. That also ended 6 to 5.5. Well, at the moment we're 3 to 3.5. With 2 minutes remaining, I'm not sure we're going to see the full half dozen. But this is not the ideal start after that next throw in for Rinehart Polo. This is going to go in favor of Tanakanda. So even though it might look like a simple job to get done or to be done, this is still a question of concentration and nerves. And a penalty for, which is obviously 60 yards. So pressure here, Dale, very much pressure. This, I don't want to put the cat amongst the pigeons, 2:10 on the clock, but this could, of course, set and pave the way here for a lead for Tanakanda.
Yeah, big play there at that bowling. I'm not exactly sure, Jan. I don't want to speak out of terms here, but something I'm right in front. And remember, in close quarters like that, when you have all 8 horses, but Ferrari right there and not wasting any time to march that ball down to the 60. So they're going to go and they're going to pass the stick. Fran's going to pass the stick to his dad. Here comes Pablo. Pablo Spinacci, and both Spinacci's having trouble from the penalty line today, Jan. We talked about those penalty shots today, and that's going to be the 3rd miss for Tanakanda, and could come back to haunt them, but with 1:58 on the clock as they take the knock-in, and we get another whistle. That's going to stop the clock, so we'll make sure we get everybody organized here. As you said, Jan, that was a huge opportunity and just not in the rhythm that they were. They have been hitting their penalties very good. I think Fran's been 100% healthy through the tournament. Fran Spinacci has been taking the penalty shots for the Tanakanda team for the Madelon Memorial and had done a fantastic job. And it looked like we might have had a bit of an issue. Oh, no, they must have had a procedural problem here. Yeah. So they have a procedural. It's got to be if he's bringing out here to the 60. And he could have had could have been a blocking call right there. And that's what he's probably going to call. Yeah, you remember, you got to go one-on-one on all the knock-ins and all the dead ball plays. You cannot block a player. And that's going to bring the ball back to the 60s. So here we go. They're going to reload. And now they're going to pass the stick back to Fran Spinacci with the opportunity. On the ground, stopped by Ariano. And great sportsmanship there by Augustine, letting the umpire know it did come off of his mallet, and we're back to another safety. So penalty 6, and that ball is now about 5 yards from the goalpost. So this should be you said it, Jan. Here you go, third time's a charm. We will see, but it's that's been the only little kidding for them today. The penalty shots. They had a penalty 3 missed in the second chukker, and then 1 penalty 4 in the third. They had 2 misses in the fourth, and this is going to be their 3rd opportunity from the 60-yard mark, from the same spot as a penalty 4, but it'll be the penalty 6. And it will be Fran Spinacci. Again, a daisy cutter, worm burner, whatever you want to call it. Nice try there by Dr. Tanver Khan getting a piece of it. But that ball's going to go off the side. And with 1:32 on the clock, they're going to go ahead and give the ball a whistle ace on the knock-in.
Right, now then, the pressure very much on, and I'm pretty sure that Rinehart Polo will make the clock work to their advantage. A little bit of a mishit here. Spinacci will pick up the ball about 15, 20 yards adjacent to that halfway line. Ariano working very hard. He's got two Spinaccis on his hip. And Pablo right underneath us here, Dale. You saw it.
Yeah, pretty easy call here. I'm actually surprised at Pablo. And they're going to go with the spot. Now, I guess they are going to go with the 5, I guess, being at a standstill, nobody moving. I thought they might move that to a 60, but it'll be whistle ace with the penalty 5A.
So let's see if he can seal the deal here. He needs to get past Pablo. Pablo needs to allow a little bit of space. Doesn't want to get done for shading or blocking. The pass, well, that was definitely, of course, uncalled for. And again, the umpire being very, very vigilant there with that whistle.
So the play before, we have 1 meeting 2 at a standstill. And so you can go back and forth there. So I understand why they went for the spot. Nobody moving anywhere. Now, the Rinehart Polo team are going to get called for hitting into the horse. You can see that they were off to the side. They were not blocking. So a good call here, penalty 5A, and they will go back to Tanakanda.
Well, keep a close eye on the clock here because we're in the last minute of play. They need to mobilize all their attackers up to the front. Whistle with a piece of it. Left behind, in comes. Oh, and another whistle on that buzzer, on that horn.
Oh, yeah, everybody with the mouths in the air. Now, remember in polo when the ball is moving, and I would talk about the quick line change a lot. Yan and I go back and forth on it. The quick line change, the toughest play in polo for players and umpires. If the ball is moving in a direction, one direction, remember the imaginary line, and that ball does hit a horse or mallet and stops directly and is not moving, then it goes back to the old line. And that's where they had a bit of a misplay here. So it's going to go to the Rinehart Polo team with the penalty 5A with 26 seconds on the clock.
Well, this is definitely not what they wanted, getting the pressure. And we're down to, as I say, now 17.6 seconds. Hang on, there might be a chance here for the final run. Alfonso, he's got to be careful. He's got to get past whistle. Alfonso, look at that pony open up for him. Alfonso, he's got the goal on the end of his stick. Has that ball gone all the way? Oh, on the line. And that will be Chukker. It's Chukker. And it's hit the post. Well, that definitely is the last play. Wow, what a way to finish. So 3.5-3. Rinehart doing everything right. It was a tough match. Congratulations, Emmy, April, Augustine, and Whistle. Wasn't quite the Tanakanda team that we saw throughout this tournament. Nonetheless, well played. Alfonso Nera, Dr. Tanvir Khan, Pablo, and of course, Franz Spinacci. Dale.
Oh, well called, Yan, as always. And, you know, these teams were our strongest offensive teams during the tournament, and we were waiting for this matchup. And defense wins championships, as I always say. So they turned into a defensive battle. But, you know, the proof's in the pudding. You got to go to the stats here. And if we go to the breakdown, and as we send our players off and get prepared for our trophy presentation, we started out with that 0.5 at the beginning, and that just shows you how important that 0.5 is. That's how it ended, but it was 1 goal made by Augustine Ariano. I think, Yan, the goal of the tournament, out of the air, near side neck shot, just fantastic. That was a play to start with Emmy. They left that chucker 1.5 to 0. Then they went to their second chucker, and 100% from the penalty line. They didn't get a lot of shots, but Ariano with a penalty 4, and that brought them to 2.5. And then it was Tanakanda to pick up a penalty 2, but they did miss a penalty 3. So they left that and went into halftime 2.5-1. Then when they came out, and this is where they had the opportunity, it was in the third chukker to, they had another penalty 4, Fran wide, but he had one from the field. And that would have made it 3 to 2.5, but it ended up being Rinehart going ahead, staying ahead at 2.5 to 2. Then we got into the fourth chukker. And one goal scored by Ariano again that brought them to 3.5. And then 4 misses by the Tanakanda team. They missed 3 penalty 4s and a safety. And that's just going to come back to haunt them. Those opportunities are there, but great job by Rinehart Polo. Congratulations to all the players. It was a lot of fun. I love this. And, of course, for Juan Bellini and Madelon Bourdieu Memorial, thank you for joining us. We're going to go to a little break. They're going to go and get the trophy presentation stand ready to go. And we'll be back here on CTV Sports. You can see all the players up close personal, all our MVPs, and our best playing ponies. Once again, for Jan and Frank Updale Schwetz, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Nice to have you with us here for the prize presentation. What a cracking final we just saw. And before we get on with the presentation of the prize to the players, a round of applause, please, for the best playing pony of this, the Madelon Bourdieu Memorial. Jackie is her name, a 9-year-old mare, and the very proud man who rode her and owned her, of course, Whistle Ace, played her in the first and in the fourth chukker. And on behalf of all the grooms, Matteo there, the man looking after the pony, thank you very much for all the peticeros. So, thank you very much. I'm sure she will have a very nice and relaxing weekend. We're just waiting for two more players to make their way up to the podium for the prize presentation. The team in the white shirts already up there, Rinehart, Polo. And I'm sure very, very happy and delighted with today's performance. Just waiting. He's making his way up to the podium now. Pablo Spinacci. And, of course, Dr. Tanvir Khan. And as we said throughout this tournament, a very special tournament to Grand Champions Polo Club in honour of the late mother of our very own Juan Bellini, who will be conducting the prize presentation here this afternoon. So before we get on with the presentation, everybody here, I think a round of applause is in order here to the finalists of the Madelon Bourdieu Memorial. Rinehart, remember, in the white shirts, and Tanakanda in the blue shirts. And we're going to get straight down to business. We're going to start, of course, with the runners-up. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause and step forward. The very, very talented Alfonso Nero. Well done, Alfonso. Get yourself a picture there with Juan Bellini. Well done. At number 2, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together one more time for Dr. Tanvir Khan. Well done, Dr. Tanvir Khan. And big smile on his face. And then let's go to the man who scored twice in this final, Francisco Spinacci. A round of applause, please, for Fran Spinacci. Well done. And, of course, El Capitan, the man behind that team. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Mr. Pablo Spinacci. Well done. Even gets a kiss from Juan Bellini. Well played. Now then, let's move over to the winners of the Madelon Bourdieu Memorial, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, Team Rinehart at number 1. Please step forward the very talented Emmy Wolf. At number 2, ladies and gentlemen, equally as talented, April Welker. Well done, April. And then let's go to the man who did all the scoring in this final, ladies and gentlemen. There was, of course, only one, Agustin Ariano. And the man with the funny accent from South Africa, ladies and gentlemen. There's only one Whistleloose. There he is. Whistle, well done. And before we present the trophy, of course, we have the award of the MVP of the Madelon Bourdieu Memorial. And I'm sure it'll come as no surprise. MVP goes to Agustin Ariano. Thank you very much. If I can now kindly ask Tanakanda to exit stage left. Make sure you don't trip. Thank you very much. As the moment, I'm sure Rinehart Polo happy, waiting for a lot of fans, a lot of supporters from all corners of the world have descended to be with us here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, your champions, please, one more time, give it up. Winners of the Madelon Bourdieu Memorial 2026. Team Rinehart, Emmy, April, Agustina, Whistle. That's it for us for the moment. Remember, we've got the final of the 12 goal coming up this afternoon, 4 o'clock. Make sure you either join us here live at Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 1. And if you can't do that, make sure you switch in or tune in to CTV Sports. We leave you now with these beautiful images of the winners and the runners-up. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we look forward to welcoming you back here, CTV Sports and or Grand Champions Polo Club this afternoon, 4 o'clock. Until then, have a great day.